Shalom, y'all. It's Michael Israel, and today what I'm talking about is doctrines versus doing. Okay, y'all know I've been all around the Hebrew Israelite community. I've seen a lot of what's out there. I've seen, as far as doctrines and beliefs, I've heard and seen all types of different doctrines, and there's new ones coming, and I'm sure there was ones out there I haven't heard of. Some in particular that I have heard of is you know some of the more radical ones. I've seen people with the King David doctrine, where they believe in doing what King David did. So basically, a lot of these Hebrews believe they can rob up people of other nations or races, and they actually did that. Actually happened in upstate New York, man. They actually robbed some people up there, where they believe you could do crime to people of other nations. I've seen, some of the ones, I'm sure y'all hear some of the stuff going on with food. I mean, I've seen, of course, where, fruit only or plant-based doctrine, and you can't eat meat. But I've seen the other extreme. There's Hebrews out there that believe you could eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. They say when you're eating, when you eat pork, you're sinning against Yah, but they said when you're eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, you're sinning against yourself. So, I mean, there's all types of extremes. As far as the book goes type doctrines, I've seen New Testament Hebrew Israelites. They believe in the New Testament and that we're not under the law. And then there's Old Testament Hebrew Israelites. There's Torah only Hebrew Israelites, so they only believe in the Torah, and they don't even believe in the prophets and stuff like that. And there's everything in between. And then there's the Hebrew scholars. They dive super deep into the word. And I was talking to a brother today. You can go so deep in this book where you can almost lose yourself, and really you start analyzing stuff so far, so deep that it almost causes you to your faith to falter and fail. And at the end of the day, what I've found is that if you just look at the common theme through the whole book, you know what I'm saying? And you just look at, I'm not saying the surface level, but just kind of the main idea through the book. And then you have a look at brothers and sisters around you, and you look at our people. You look at, like for me, I look at stuff that's happened to me in my life, my mindset. I look at our culture in this country as the so-called African American culture in this country, the so-called African American history, and I look at all this stuff, and I look at the common theme, and I try to pinpoint the one thing that really causes us to be in the predicament we're in. And when I look at it, it's one common thing through the whole book, and it's, I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the meat thing and all that stuff, but undoubtedly, there's one thing I've experienced that I've seen in my life. One thing that I've seen through the whole entire book that is just one thing you hear Yah say over and over again through the book. And it's one thing that if you're a practical person, you can observe how we operate. And that's one thing, and that's what? Not listening, not being obedient, not being able to follow orders. You know what I'm saying? I always say not being able to follow orders because I'm a military dude and all that. But that's the one thing you see That's the one thing I've experienced. That's the one thing when I look at my family. It's like we're not being obedient to what the book says. And when I say obedient to what the book says, just on a surface level, just on how to interact with our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Um, how to become a nation and unite and all that stuff like that. You know, that's the one common theme. How to do what you're told on the job when you're at your place of business, when you're at your place of work. You name it. That's the one common theme. Just being obedient. That's the one thing you hear Yah. There's 2 chapters in Ezekiel where he spends the whole 2 chapters saying how frustrating it is dealing with us as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And how stubborn and stiff-hearted we are. Stiff-hearted, not stiff-necked, stiff-hearted. So that's pretty daggone stubborn. So for me, when I was out there searching, I'm looking for ministry or some Hebrews to fellowship with, like-minded and everything. That was the main thing I was looking for, because I knew that was the main thing that mattered. There has to be a serious environment of obedience, because that's the common theme I see through the whole book, is people being obedient, doing what they're told. And even in the Hebrew Israelite community, that's what I don't see. There's a lot of people just wrestling with that spirit of disobedience, that stubborn, stiff-necked spirit. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and say that, just throw my little brick into, things that I see going on, and is food for thought. Definitely welcome your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm sure people won't agree, but I'd like to know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. Just put it in the comments there. Anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel, head of Straightway, Florida, host of the Spiritual Combat Show. Shalom, shalom.